to this. Bless our God, O peoples. Let the sound of God's praise be heard, who has kept us among the living and has not let our feet slip. For you, O God, have tested us. You have tried us as silver is tried. You brought us into the net. You laid burdens on our backs. You let people ride over our heads. We went through fire and through water. Yet you have brought us out to a spacious place. I will come into your house with burnt offerings. I will pay you my vows, those that my lips uttered and my mouth promised when I was in trouble. I will offer to you burnt offerings of fatlings with the smoke of the sacrifice of rams. I will make an offering of bulls and goats. Come and hear, all you who fear God, and I will tell what he has done for me. I cried aloud to her, and she was extolled with my tongue. If I had cherished iniquity in my heart, the Lord would not have listened. But truly God has listened. He has given heed to the words of my prayer. Blessed be God, because God has not rejected my prayer or removed steadfast love from me. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
The New Testament reading this morning comes out of the book of Acts, the 17th chapter. We're in the middle of Paul's mission journey as he travels around Asia Minor, as we call it today. It was Asia then, in the process of spreading the gospel. He's established several churches, and then he books passage on a ship and travels to the city of Athens. And we find Paul there. He's already spent a day walking around the city, and he gets to a major square in the city, and there's a place that all these philosophers and great thinkers of the time gathered together just to share their thoughts and their ideas. And Paul has done that one day and is surprised when he's invited to come back and make a formal presentation. That was considered quite a respectable thing to have happen to you. So we pick up the story. Paul has arrived. And then Paul stood in front of the Areopagus and said, Athenians, I see how extremely religious you are in every way. For as I went through the city and looked carefully at the objects of your worship, I found among them an altar with the inscription, to an unknown God. What therefore you worship as unknown, this I proclaim to you. The God who made the world and everything in it, he who is the Lord of heaven and earth, does not live in shrines made by human hands. He is the God of everything, the world and everything in it. It is he who made heaven and earth and does not live in shrines made by human hands, nor is he served by human hands, as though he needed anything, since he himself gives to all mortals life and breath and all things. From one ancestor he made all nations to inhabit the whole earth, and he allotted the times of their existence and the boundaries of the places where they should live, so that they should search for God and perhaps grope for him and find him, though indeed he is not far from each one of us. For in him we live and move and have our being. Even as some of your own prophets have said, for we too are his offspring. Since we are God's offspring, we ought not think that the deity is like gold or silver or stone, an image formed by the art and imagination of mortals. While God has overlooked the times of human ignorance, now God commands all people everywhere to repent, because God has fixed a day on which he will have the world judged by in righteousness by a man whom he has appointed. And of this he has given assurance to all by raising him from the dead. And then the passage goes on to say, there were some who were interested and said we should hear more of this, and others who said, I don't think we can accept this. This is the word of the Lord.